Welcome back, everyone, to episode 32 of Cliffhangers and Page Turners. We're the place you come to get, the whole story, all the twists, without maybe having to face the nightmares yourself.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Hope it was definitely better than what these characters go through. Hey, if you're into gripping book discussions, and let's be honest, some pretty wild plot twists, definitely hit that subscribe button. We drop new episodes every Friday on all the usual podcast spots. But remember, the full back catalog, that's only over on YouTube. So today, we are diving deep. We're strapping in for, frankly, a terrifying ride with Clay McLeod Chapman's Wake Up and Open Your Eyes.
Oh, this one is. It's brutal. And not just the gore, though there's plenty of that. It's the way it dissects modern America politically, psychologically. It's basically an autopsy of how we consume media.
Right, like our screens aren't just for scrolling.
Exactly. Chapman paints them as the main vector, customized even for this contagion that just collapses everything. And it really does collapse. Okay, so we're going to unpack the mechanism here. It's this horrifying infection.
Yeah.
Right? But what is it? Is it real? Demonic? Just mass hysteria.
And that's the debate it sparks immediately, isn't it? It's visceral. The satire in here is so sharp, too. It really cuts deep. It makes you ask, okay, where's the line between, like, political extremism and actual literal possession?
Yeah, it doesn't give you easy answers.
Not at all. It plays on all those anxieties we already have, right? About echo chambers, filter bubbles, all that stuff. And then it just twists it into full-on body horror.
Okay, so our mission today, folks, is to guide you through how Chapman builds this nightmare. We'll look at the different ways people get infected, these sort of parallel paths to ruin.
The three main vectors. And really analyze the dark implications of why it seems to hit white suburban America so hard in the book.
Let's get into it. Part 1. The start of it all, and our main guy, Noah's pretty major blind spot. So we meet Noah first. It's December 18th. He's in New York. Things are clearly starting to fray, society-wise. He's getting these frantic voicemails from his mom back in Richmond.
Yeah, telling him to get out, evacuate. But he's, the sophisticated city guy.
Totally. He brushes them off as, what was the phrase, digital mosquitoes buzzing about his ear.
Digital mosquitoes. That says it all, doesn't it? He's literally swatting away the alarm bells because they don't fit his worldview.
And it really shows his arrogance, maybe, his intellectual blind spot. He sees his parents shifting, getting into what he calls batshit conspiracy-laden crack pottery.
Which, sounds familiar to a lot of people, unfortunately.
Right. But he thinks it's just temporary. It's something he can fix with logic.
Like a puzzle to solve, yeah. Not this deep existential infection it turns out to be.
He doesn't just dismiss it either. He actually tries to, manage it. He Googles how to deprogram your parents.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, God, yeah. And he finds that self-help quote.
Only patience and understanding will pull them out.
Which is just heartbreakingly naive in retrospect. It's the setup for his total failure, really. This idea that you can use a gentle hand and rational talk against something so consuming.
And he kind of assesses them, right? Dad's stubborn, maybe a lost cause.
Yes, stubborn son of a bitch, I think he calls him.
But his mom, he hangs on to this idea that she's still in there somewhere, trapped in her own body, just waiting for him to rescue her.
And that tiny bit of hope, that belief she's just, chemically off or something, not fundamentally gone.
That's what fuels his drive down to Richmond. 6 hours straight into hell, basically. The book really uses Noah to show how useless logic is against this kind of media-driven thing.
He thought he was dealing with, a bad cable news habit.
Exactly. He wasn't prepared for whatever this is. Something engineered to just overwrite who they are.
And the scene he finds when he gets there on December 20th, it proves it's way beyond just arguing politics. The house isn't just messy.
No, it's like a crime scene.
Yeah.
Overturned furniture, okay, but the broken picture frames and the light bulbs.
Yeah, the light bulbs are creepy. Like they wanted the darkness, rejecting any kind of light, literal or metaphorical.
He finds that old photo of his mom, Little Miss Spat, 1968, and he gets choked up. It's this moment of realizing the person he knew is just gone, violently erased.
But even before he sees all that, it's the sound, right? The noise hits him first.
Oh, yeah. Multiple TVs all blasting the same voice. Paul Tammany from Fax News, over and over.
Chapman calls it conservative claptrap echolocation.
Echolocation. It's such a good description. Like it's designed to just overwhelm you, bounce off every surface until you can't think straight.
Sensory overload, totally. And then the first encounters, just pure dread. He finds his dad.
Hiding, looking super thin, just not right. And Noah unplugs the TV.
And the only thing his dad says is, I was watching that, not help me, not what's happening, just possessive over the TV signal.
But the TV is more important than his own son standing there.
Yeah.
That shows the identity shift right there.
Then he finds his mother in the bedroom. And that scene is just, wow.
Yeah. Naked, right. Just bathing in the light of a tiny little portable TV.
Totally zoned in, repeating Tammany's phrases like a prayer. It's this weirdly devotional, almost baptismal moment with the screen.
But then there's that flicker, the on-off switch thing.
Mm-hmm.
When Noah turns her TV off,
she blinks, smiles even, and for a second she's back. Noah, you made it.
oof. That almost makes it worse, doesn't it? Knowing the person is still buried in there somewhere, but the signal is just too strong. Like they're aware on some level of what's happened to them.
It suggests a kind of conscious imprisonment, yeah. And that consciousness makes the turn even more grotesque when Noah tries to, help her, tries to feed her.
Thinks he can nurse her back to health. Big mistake.
Huge. She bites him. Hard. The book describes the sound as a snick, like bone.
Ugh. And then the realization about his dad, he wasn't just hiding. He's sort of everywhere now. Surrounding Noah, laughing with Tammany's voice.
Yeah, the reality crashes in. This isn't about political differences anymore. This is predation.
The detail of the father riding him like a cowboy, trying to tear his flesh, chanting, just the fuck axe. It's horrifying, but also such biting satire.
Absolutely chilling. And the mother's attack, maybe even more viscerally disgusting, slurping his ear.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like sucking an oyster out of the half shell, leaving part of it behind. It's body horror at its most intimate.
And it cements it, right? The signal, the infection, it hasn't just changed their minds, it's physically altered them, made them violent, consuming monsters who use media buzzwords as like attack commands.
Just the facts, but twisted into something monstrous.
Okay.
Okay, so that sets the stage. Now, the book cleverly shows it's not a one-size-fits-all infection.
Exactly. Chapman gives us these 3 parallel stories within Noah's own family, Asher, Devin, and Caleb. Each one shows a different customized pathway into this great reawakening.
It proves the pathogen or the idea or whatever it is. It's smart, adaptive.
It finds your weak spot. Preys on whatever vulnerability you already have. Make sure nobody's safe if they're plugged in the wrong way. We get the political path, the wellness path, and the social media path.
Okay, let's start with Asher, Noah's brother. Described as fiscally conservative, socially liberal, not exactly a foaming at the mouth extremist initially.
No, his way in wasn't even ideology, really. It was annoyance, feeling talked down to. He found CNN anchors whiny, condescending, made him feel stupid.
And that's such a key insight the book offers, right? People aren't always looking for facts.
They're looking for validation. Fox News gave him that. The other networks gave him facts, maybe. But Chapman writes, facts just made him feel. That's the transaction. Emotion over reality.
And he connects with Paul Tammany, the anchor. Feels like Tammany's talking right to him.
Yeah, that stern gaze, the brick chin, like they're just buddies shooting the shit. It creates this false intimacy, this perfect channel for the infection to come through.
And that intimacy gets really weird,
Yeah.
really fast.
Oh, disturbingly so. It fuses his anger, his ego, even his sexuality to the news cycle. That scene where he has that violent, almost seizure-like climax watching TV.
While Julia Turin is talking about bond yields.
Exactly. And Tammany winks from behind her shoulder on screen. It confirms Asher's twisted belief that this is all for him, a private show.
The description of the aftermath. Pearls of semen glistened in the television's glow. It's the ultimate surrender to the screen, isn't it? Giving everything.
It's total consumption, yeah. And what does he do immediately after? He changes his whole environment.
Installs TVs everywhere, in every room.
Total immersion. It's not about staying informed anymore. It's about constant, inescapable exposure to the signal, ensuring he's fully possessed, ready for the reawakening.
It's like solving your existential dread by buying more stuff, more screens.
Yeah.
The consumerist path to hell. Okay, then there's Devin, Asher's wife. Totally different angle.
Completely. The wellness cult path.
Gotcha.
And her entry point is so mundane, so relatable.
The phishing email, right? A healthier, happier you.
Shows how easily this stuff can creep in. She wasn't looking for politics. She wanted self-improvement, which leads her to Yogama, Larissa.
Ah, the guru figure. Preaching self-preservation, juice cleanses.
And the really crucial part, cutting out the negative Nancys.
Meaning anyone who might question what she's doing. Friends, family, classic cult tactic. Isolation.
It's not a side effect, it's part of the process. It primes her for the transformation by removing any critical feedback.
Yogama tells her transformation requires sacrifice. You need to bleed just a bit to be reborn.
And that starts metaphorically, but boy, does it get literal fast.
Oh, yeah. This is where the body horror really ramps up again.
Yeah.
Devon's path is marked by these extreme physical acts.
It starts weirdly with the Vitamix blender, straddling it, using the vibrations for release, purification.
The sound description, it's so mechanical and awful. Like she's trying to physically grind away her imperfections.
And the book just forces you to look at this horrifying idea of self-harm as a sacred act, which culminates in her testimony.
Where she follows the instruction to purify herself by plunging your fist into the running blender.
Ugh. Chapman details the sound changing as the blades hit bone, and then she drinks it. Drinks the warm puree of her own flesh and blood.
It's absolutely sickening. But you see the twisted logic, right? The ultimate cleanse, the ultimate perversion of that whole wellness ideology. Purify yourself by literally destroying yourself.
If negativity resides in the self, get rid of the self. It's terrifyingly consistent in its own insane way.
Okay, finally the third path, Caleb, the teenage son. His is all digital.
Pure social media, isolation, and the search for validation. He finds his guide, his entity named Elysigan 911.
E, who preaches the great reawakening. And E is the perfect predator for a kid like Caleb, right? Isolated, maybe unpopular.
Totally. E targets him specifically, praises him for being a virgin, for protecting his most sacred offering, calls him pure, tells him he's special. He's the wake-up call.
It weaponizes that kind of incel-adjacent purity culture almost. Caleb's already hidden behind his hoodie. E gives him a reason to feel superior in his isolation.
And his conversion ritual is tailor-made for his generation. The wake-up call challenge. A video testimony.
Where he eats his mom's gross cleanse powder and dedicates his virtuous flesh to E's network.
And the physical sign of his contamination is different again. That slug thing.
Yeah, the glistening mother-of-pearl-colored slug or oily worm he pulls from his nose and swallows. It's this really visceral image of him internalizing the parasite, the pathogen.
And becoming this vessel allows him to achieve his twisted goal, leaving his privileged life behind, which he does spectacularly.
We see the result later on CNN. Caleb becomes a meme, literally.
A meme of destruction. His body used as shrapnel in an explosion at his high school. He went viral in the most horrifying way possible.
He wanted reach, and he got it by becoming a human bomb. It's such a potent critique of online radicalization, turning isolated kids into weapons through validation.
Demons recruiting via DMs, basically. Praising celibacy to create suicide bombers. It's bleak.
Okay, so those are the individual paths. But then the book zooms out, the contagion goes wide.
Yeah, it shifts fast from these personal stories to just full-scale societal breakdown. December 20th isn't just bad for Noah's family. It's the day the Great Reawakening erupts everywhere. Coordinated, instantaneous.
Schools, malls, Hooters. Nowhere is safe.
Yeah.
It's chaos, hitting with terrifying speed.
And the novel uses these fragments, these video clips, like we're watching the disaster unfold on the news. The Margarita Mommies in Tampa.
Oh, God, yeah. 1 minute, they're toasting to the Great Reawakening. The next.
3:00 p.m. sharp, they turn on each other, stabbing with broken margarita glasses, screaming, "Wake up! Open your eyes!" That switch flip celebration to mutual destruction is chilling.
Shows how fragile everything is.
Yeah.
And the system just breaks. 911 fails, police are overrun, total collapse of order.
There's that woman in Minneapolis shouting wellness slogans, "Bliss skimmer, your body, your temple," while attacking a cop right before she's shot. Even in death, the ideology sticks.
And while all this is happening externally, Noah's got his own internal breakdown going on. He acquires a narrator.
The voice of Anderson Cooper. Calm, cool, collected, and absolutely brutal.
Calling him a sniveling liberal, a laddie-to-libtard, playing on all his insecurities about not being tough enough.
It's like his hypercritical inner voice given a famous, authoritative face, mocking his book smarts, saying things like, "After years of Instacart and Uber rides, you do not have the tools to survive."
It's his own self-loathing weaponized against him right when he needs to be focused.
Exactly. And while he's battling that, the outside world is scrambling for explanations. What is this thing? Chapman offers up a few theories through the survivors.
Yeah, the conflicting narratives trying to make sense of the senseless. What were they again?
Okay, theory 1, demonic possession. Some YouTuber, Paul Morrison, calls E a demonic virus, says people got infected by clicking accept terms of service online.
Wow. So literally selling your soul to the algorithm. That's dark.
Theory 2, the sci-fi conspiracy version, it's a virus, escaped from a lab in China maybe, or
5G. Gonna be 5G towers, microwaving their minds, searing the bad thoughts in.
Right. People need that external enemy, something concrete to blame, like a supervirus or rogue technology.
And the third one, the sociological take.
Mass hysteria. Or, as the book calls it, a lemdemic, like lemmings. The idea is that it's not a physical thing, but an ideological contagion. People just desperately wanted to belong to the newest, most extreme thing.
Like those historical examples, the dancing plague of 1518, or the Leroy twitching outbreak.
Exactly. It suggests the idea itself is the pathogen. Belief spreads like a virus, and the desire to conform is so strong people will follow it even into self-destruction. The book leaves it ambiguous, but the speed, it really feels like suggestion plays a huge role.
Whatever the cause, the effect is apocalyptic, especially that scene in D.C.
Oof, the National Mall. Just a roiling sea of naked flesh, violence, rape, cannibalism, openly gnawing and chomping on each other.
And the image of the Washington Monument.
Looms above it all, a massive erect penis poking at the cosmos.
Yeah.
Turning the symbol of American power into this obscene witness to total degradation. It's potent imagery.
The book also makes a point about who seems to be most affected, doesn't it?
It does. It repeatedly frames it, pretty bluntly, as some white people shit, particularly in affluent suburbs, suggesting it's not just random, but tied to the anxieties and maybe the suppressed rage of a specific demographic finally boiling over.
Like the entitlement and neuroses of privileged, online life finally manifesting as actual apocalypse. Okay, so Noah has to navigate this.
Yeah.
Part 4. His journey north, finding Marcus, and the final surrender.
His trip from Richmond up to Nova, trying to get back to Brooklyn eventually, it changes him. He has to get tougher. That internal Anderson Cooper voice is pushing him, calling him that self-loathing liberal. He's shedding his old skin.
Becoming an anti-hero, basically.
Right.
Which means doing some truly awful things to survive.
Absolutely. When he gets to Asher's house in Northern Virginia, he finds Devin, fully turned. And his reaction isn't panic or negotiation anymore.
No, he goes straight to violence. The pizza cutter.
Yeah, slits her throat with a pizza cutter. That mundane suburban tool used for such brutality, it underscores the horror of the setting.
But she doesn't stay dead.
Oh, right.
The infection is tenacious.
Nope. She revives. He has to tackle her, smash her head against the fridge repeatedly, and he confesses it to his inner narrator, like seeking absolution. Laid Devin to rest. Paid your respects.
It's a total breakdown of his old morality, but maybe necessary for him to keep going. His focus becomes purely about getting Marcus, his nephew.
And he finds Marcus in the pantry, like a little nest. Kids totally shell-shocked, emaciated, just clutching his tablet.
Creating the kid's vector, right. It's not news or wellness, it's
an earworm.
the earworm. Brilliant and terrifying. That South Korean jingle, baby ghost, boo-boo, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Super catchy, super repetitive. Perfect for reprogramming kids' brains under the radar. Hypnotic.
They get in the car, try to drive north. But it's not over. The Baltimore tunnel scene.
Yeah, that's rough. Noah thinks he's got Marcus contained, maybe safe for a moment. But Marcus finds another tablet, tunes right back in, starts singing the jingle.
And the horror isn't just him singing. It's that the sound acts like sonar. It wakes up all the others hidden in the dark cars in the tunnel. They all join in. Grandma Ghost, boo-boo.
Oh, God. Noah smashes the tablet, but it's too late. The song is everywhere now. Marcus is one of them. The signal isn't just on the screen anymore. It's inside.
It's self-propagating now, which drives Noah to his absolute last resort.
Yeah.
Day 4, utter desperation.
He finds a Bible, gets an idea, a really, really bad idea.
The swine-swapping exorcism. Based on Mark 5.11, casting demons into pigs, he finds a pig farm in New Jersey.
It's almost darkly funny, if it weren't so tragic. Him kneeling in pig shit, chanting, "I cast thee out, unclean spirit."
But the absurdity, the total failure of this ancient ritual against a modern horror, that's what finally breaks him. The Anderson Cooper voice mocks him, reveals itself as just a cruel joke.
He just collapses. I'm fucked. Yep, so fucked. The realization that rationality, religion, none of it works. The joke is on him for trying.
And recognizing his own self-loathing, that he never had anything to call his own, that's the turning point. He gives up fighting it.
Turns all that rage and disgust inward and then outward. On to Marcus.
Wraps his hands around the boy's throat. And as he does it,
starts singing the song, the baby ghost song, realizing he's become the perfect host, a perfect vessel ripe and ready.
the signal found its new home. Noah, the self-loathing liberal, became exactly what it needed through his violence and despair.
And the final scene. He arrives back home, his own doorstep. Alicia and Kelsey there. He's smiling.
That wide, empty smile. This is the classic horror line. Honey, I'm home.
He didn't escape the horror. He brought it back with him. He is the horror now. The cycle continues. Oof. What an ending.
It implies the fight was lost the moment he gave in to his own darkness, really.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Part 5, critical analysis.
Yeah.
What's Chapman really saying here?
Well, it feels less like just a horror novel and more like a fierce critique, right? It's disguised as horror. Chapman seems to be pointing directly at our media habits, politics, wellness, social media, all of it.
Saying it's not just distracting us, it's actively destroying us, particularly white suburban America in the book's focus.
Yeah, it seems to argue that the violence, the self-destruction, it springs from that hyper-personalized, isolating media environment.
And the book heavily suggests the demons or the virus could only take hold because the cracks were already there, right?
Exactly. It needed that permission slip, that little nudge from the algorithm or the anchor or the guru to let people act on their worst impulses. That phrase, some white people shit, keeps coming back, suggesting it's about a specific cultural anxiety, entitlement, suppressed rage within that demographic finally getting unleashed.
So here's the big question for our book club minds. Was the darkness unleashed or was it introduced?
Good question. If it was purely biological, like a random virus, you'd expect more random victims, maybe.
But the way Asher, Devin, Caleb are targeted through their specific media diets, it feels tailored, like the pathogen found their existing weaknesses.
I lean towards unleashed. I think Chapman suggests Asher's rage, Devin's purity obsession, Caleb's need for validation in Callisa. Those were already deeply ingrained. The media pathogen just gave them the narrative framework and the social permission to act it all out. It's American self-destruction, weaponized by curated content.
Thinking about the 3 paths, Asher, Devin, Caleb, which one hit you the hardest? Which was the most effective horror? For me, maybe Caleb.
Caleb's is terrifyingly relevant, isn't it? Digital extremism, lonely kids, the desire for validation leading to becoming a literal bomb meme. It feels very now.
Yeah, the idea of trading your identity to be the wake-up call is just chillingly plausible in some ways.
I agree Caleb's is potent, but structurally, I think Noah's internal monologue, that Anderson Cooper voice, might be the most brilliant device.
Really? Why that?
Because that's the voice of internalized critique. It's the book's satire made manifest. It mocks Noah's liberalism, his intellectualism, forces him and us to confront the uselessness of reason against this tide. It embodies the self-loathing the book seems to see at the core of the problem.
Okay, I see that. But wait, thinking about Devin and Asher, aren't their motivations totally opposite? Devin wants extreme purity, self-denial. Asher is all about indulgence, rage, sexualized consumption. How could the same infection cause both?
But that's the point, maybe. The infection doesn't need consistency. It needs intensity. It hooks into whatever neurotic obsession is deepest in the individual. Purity for Devin, entitlement for Asher. The method is personalized, but the result, total destruction, is the same. The contradiction shows the real pathogen is maybe just that human need for validation through any extreme identity.
Okay, that makes sense. And the failure of the exorcism, Noah trying this ancient Bible ritual against a modern tech-driven horror.
And the Cooper voice just laughs at him. It feels like Chapman saying, you can't fight today's monsters with yesterday's tools. The old frameworks are useless against this kind of contagion.
Especially when the signal's inside you. Like in the tunnel, smashing the tablet does nothing once Marcus is singing the song. The environment is the signal now.
Yeah. Which circles back to that really uncomfortable final thought. How much of this was really an external invasion, and how much was just letting the mask slip? Were these characters already broken before the virus gave them an excuse?
Did we basically accept the terms of service for our own destruction the minute we bought into the idea that our perfect, validated self was just one click, one feed, one guru away?
That's the really chilling takeaway, I think. A deeply uncomfortable question the book leaves us with.
Wow, okay. Well, that brings us to the end of our look at Clay McLeod Chapman's Wake Up and Open Your Eyes. Definitely unforgettable, intense stuff.
It really stays with you. It's a horror novel that feels disturbingly close to home in some ways. If you've read it, we absolutely want to hear what you think.
Yeah, jump in the comments. What's your theory on the Great Reawakening? Was it demonic, a virus, or just, mass suggestion gone wild, the lemdemic?
Let us know. We love hearing your takes.
And thank you, as always, for joining us for episode 32. If you like the discussion, please do us a solid like, share, subscribe to Cliffhangers and Page Turners. It really helps us keep these conversations going.
And make sure you come back next week for episode 33. We're diving into The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Ooh, secrets lurking just under the surface. You won't want to miss it.
Definitely not. Until then, happy reading, and maybe step away from the screens for a bit.
Good advice. Farewell, everyone.